Okay, so I apologize. I did not, when we came back from break to go over the test, I did not press play, unfortunately. So the first 8 questions were not gone over. So I'm going to go ahead and go over them right now for those of you who were not in class, so that you will know why the answer is the answer in case you got it wrong. And as also if you got it right. So let's do that right now. Question number 1. I'm just going to go over them because it was different in class. Some of them we kind of just skip through, depending on if someone had a question, but we'll quickly go through these and I'll give my rationale as well as if I did give, we'll get to it, but number 2, I did give points for because it was a poorly written question and all of them are correct except for number, or depending on your quiz, glutamate, because glutamate is excitatory and that has nothing to do with anxiety per se, and then the other 3 do. So it was a poorly written question. So I gave everybody the 2 points for that. So we'll just kind of get that one out of the way right now. So please also, if you notice that I made a mistake, accidentally skipped over any of your questions and didn't grade it, please let me know. That only happened thus far to one person. So, we're all human, we make mistakes here and there. And again, I do apologize for the typos. I normally don't make that many typos. And as I said in class, I don't like to make excuses, but I have not been feeling well lately due to my, as many of you know, I was hospitalized and kind of getting back on my feet, if you will. So none of the typos seem to affect grades, which was great. And my apologies. And you'll see on your final many of these questions. So please keep that in mind as well. So let's begin. So number 1, we've talked about before. It has to do with the fact of a medication that has to do if somebody is given a medication due to the fact that they're having psychosis or schizophrenic, or they have schizophrenia, they're given a medication. What happens if they have symptoms of Parkinsonian due to the fact that their dopamine is too low? And we know that the answer to that one would be cogentin. So that would be the answer. We have talked about that in class, and I don't think anybody had any issues with that question. We went over number 2. Everybody got that one. Again, if for whatever reason I did not give you the points, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do that. Number 3, again, I did not have anybody get this one wrong. What book do we use to diagnose mental health disorders? Everybody got this one right, the DSM-5. Very good. And also, in case you weren't in class, I'm very impressed with the grades that we got. I believe no one got lower than a B. You guys did very well, so I do really appreciate that. Thank you. Question number 4, true or false? When using an off-label medication, this medication can be an over-the-counter medication as well as a prescription. So this question, what I was trying to say, a couple of people did get it wrong. And what the question was asking is basically, does an off-label medication have to be a prescription? And it doesn't. So you can use off-label, like as we've mentioned in class, can be Benadryl, or there's other ones as well, or something like prescription such as propranolol for anxiety. So it can be either prescription or non-prescription. Okay, number 5. This is the one that I really, really, really honed in on, and I really wish, that's why I was the most disappointed that I did not record, because I really wanted to make this super, super clear. So let's first of all talk about the differences between certain things. So hallucinations, and this is probably the one that had the most typos. I'm not quite sure what happened here, but so a hallucination in general is something that is not actually there, period. So that's how I want you to think of it. It's very important when documenting that we document correctly in order to treat symptoms correctly, in order to help diagnose correctly and keep track of that diagnosis and how things are happening. So it's something that is not actually there. So if I am having a visual hallucination, I am seeing something that if I'm not in my right cognitive mind, such as having psychosis, or yeah, let's just use that as the example. And I'm seeing a cat sitting on my couch that is not there. That is a hallucination. It is not there. If I smell something that is actually not there, and there should be no reason that I'm having this sense of smell, it's not there. That's an olfactory hallucination. If I hear something whispering in my ear, go make eggs and pet the cat, and there is someone there, but they're not saying that to me, and they are not having any sort of mental health hallucination, and they are within that cognitive realm and can validate that for sure, that person is having an auditory hallucination. So, and of course there's other gustatory, which would be taste, and then tactile. And tactile has to do more with touch. So think of touch. Usually it does have to do with, the most common are something crawling on your skin. It can even come down to where like you feel like your organs are moving, and your organs are not moving. Again, because it's not actually happening. So hallucination is, it's not really there. And I think the if I recall, I believe that the example in class I gave, which I normally use, I don't know why, I just always have, so you kind of keep it in your mind, or I do, is if I see President Obama sitting in the chair next to me, more than likely he's probably not there. That is a hallucination. It's not actually there. Okay. So hallucination, just remember, it's not actually happening, not said, not heard, not seen. There's nothing there in its place. Now, illusion and delusion. Illusion, something is actually there. There is a remote, there is a clock, there's something actually there, a pen, there's something. However, you're thinking it's something else. So if it's a pen and you think it's a snake, and I actually gave this example twice in class, the one that I gave here of the cat. I'm petting the remote and it's the cat. It's a remote, but I think it's a cat. So that's a difference between a hallucination would be, I would just be petting the air and say, oh, this is my cat Fluffy, because it's the air and I'm just thinking I'm seeing a cat, but there's no actual object. An illusion is there's something actually, an object, a phone, a remote, anything. Just an object of some sort, but I'm confusing it with, it's an illusion, confusing it to be something else like this. So that's the answer, illusion, because I'm taking, I'm saying, here's my cat Fluffy, but the cat in my mind is the remote control is my cat. So that would be an illusion. A delusion has to do more with the mind. That's how I think of it. And it's a false fixed belief. So the CIA is after me. The cops are after me. The president, I have an appointment at 2:00. I need to go see the president. It's a false fixed belief. I'm not saying I'm seeing the president in this moment sitting in front of me. That would be hallucination. But if I'm saying I have an appointment with the president at 2:00, I need to get there. Where's my jet? It's supposed to be here. That's a false fixed belief. That's a delusion. So hopefully that helps. You will definitely see this again, please. So that's why I want to make sure everybody understood it. And I think in class, I felt confident. So I'm hoping that those who were not there, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the next class, text me, call me, what have you, email, and I'm happy to help you with that. Number 6, depletion of dopamine. We've talked about before. We know that Abilify via the study guide is and we've talked about it, I believe, is an antipsychotic. What can possibly happen from that? Parkinsonism, right? It's kind of a similar question to the first one, which has to do with the depletion of dopamine. And then number 7, true or false? You must have schizophrenia to experience psychosis. I don't think anyone got this wrong as well. We know that is not to be true. You can have psychosis for many things, although we often associate psychosis with schizophrenia. You can have psychosis and not know quite yet what it's actually being caused from. So, all right, now the one and only kind of like the question that the one that we started taping after, and the one that I think we kind of had some questions about, and everyone in class seemed fine with the rationale and the questions and everything that we talked about. This one was a little bit difficult because I'm very in my personal opinion, very understanding of, if a certain amount of people get something wrong, I'm going to make it a correct answer. And in this one situation, I'm actually not going to be doing that. And I did give the reason in class. It has to do with the fact of, when we went over this question, and this will be on your final. So that's why I want to make sure that you do see it and hear me say it again. So I did say during my video, or during class, because I did watch the video, and I think it's pretty well known that I'm pretty relaxed and I'm very understanding, and I hope that everyone understands that. And if this was a make it or break for your grade, I mean, I don't even want to say maybe I would look at it differently, but I probably would if it was like, oh, you're going to fail the program because of this one question. But you all did so well, number one. And I'm more now trying to teach. I listened to the video back, and I did say, if it were up to me, I would want it to be, what do you mean it's over? However, I clearly did state in the video, because I did go back and watch it, and it was neck and neck on the test. I'm not going to tell you the exact percentage, but it was neck and neck if giving the question back. But I did specifically say, and on that question, it was I think it was number 4. It was actually opposite. Are you thinking of hurting yourself? Because we talked about, if you could only do one thing, what is the most important thing to find out? And that's safety, because that's what the NCLEX is about. So we want to call the police. So now, if every single person in the class, or like 90% of you put that, I still honestly, and I know it's not on the syllabus or anything like that, and I'm not trying to be argumentative, but I think at this point we really need to, the point I made in class on Friday was to kind of take a step back, and mostly nurses are very A-type. And although I feel like, and sometimes, and I need to look at myself as well, and I have no problem admitting that, and I want everybody to do well, and you all did do well, and kind of being able to I don't want to say take the hit, but understand that sometimes not everything is going to be perfect, and that's okay. There's one point here, but at the same time, you also got a free point, and there was a study guide, and you had this many days or time, and whatnot. And if you go back and actually watch the video, which I did, it does clearly state that I said the answer is, are you thinking of hurting yourself? So this is why I came to that conclusion. If you were curious or feeling any way about, why this one over this one. So hopefully everybody, I mean, at least in class, everybody seemed fine with that. And the ones that we went over in class that you can watch on the other videos, people seem to understand the difference between why, if they did get it wrong, we're able to understand the rationale. And I did also mention the ones that will probably be on the final. I usually always choose the NCLEX ones for sure, because they are written as the NCLEX would, and I want to help you the best that I can be prepared for that. And I don't think on this one, yeah, there was no extra credit on this one, but on your next quiz, there will be extra credit. And then, yeah, you again will see probably about a good amount of either similar type of questions on the final or the same questions on the final, because I do like the repetition, as I had mentioned. Otherwise, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please text me if you were not in class. And otherwise, I do look forward to seeing you on Friday. I know Friday is going to be a pretty rough day. You do have another test, which is normally not given on a Friday. So I will do my best to try to, keep it light. That's why I did move some assignments over as well to be just Sunday instead of Friday. Because like I said, let me know, because I don't know what's always going on. And I do try to help as much as I possibly can. So I hope all of this made sense, and let me know if you need anything. Thank you for watching.